So here we are, it's another new day, and we're buttoning up some more of the little details on this thing so that we can go test drive it. But I got the fuel gauge sending unit, the nut that was on it had fell off for the wiring while we were turning it over here, and neither I nor the owner had anything in the stock that was the right size, so picked up a variety of nuts, found out it was actually a small metric, like a 3mm, I think it was. Got that hooked up, got the little bolt through the clamp on the exhaust here that was missing. We're working on getting the seats frames figured out here because unfortunately these floors were brand new floors. The pre-drilled holes are not very close. Put one of them way too far to the outside and the other one way too close to the inside to potentially use them. So we then had to, actually the owner of the car ended up positioning the seat where he thought was comfortable for him and drilled his own holes. And then just little things like getting this hooked up because I needed one of these clamps. His original one we couldn't find. I had some at the shop, so I brought one over. And I still got to repaint the air cleaners. I had painted them already at one point in time, but sitting around the shop and the move and everything else, something got spilled on one of them and messed the paint up, so I'm going to repaint those before we actually install those. But for the test drive, they don't need to be on there. And just buttoning up like little screws on the bottom of the corners of the fenders where they attach to the splash shields, just the little details like that. And got the, right now we don't have horns on this, so I put some of the bullet sleeves on the wires and tied them up temporarily until we get the brackets sorted out, because I don't think this thing ever had horns on it before. He never had any brackets. I can't find any of the stuff that I have in my shop, but I do have one of my other customers who has like 6 of the right side brackets, but I haven't been able to get with him to get one of them yet. And of course, right side bracket is standard with, I believe, a low note horn. And the left side was optional with a high note, making it the dual wind tone. So we're just button up details, get the seat button down, get a little more fuel in it, and I got some screws to put here yet. For here, I had the wrong screws with me. I brought the right ones today to put in here. And then we can button all this stuff up. And we got some clamp-on mirrors to put. Moss just came out with some clamp-on mirrors that clamp here that look to be pretty nice. So we're going to put those on because he decided he didn't want to drill holes in the fenders for fender mirrors because he doesn't really like using fender mirrors. So we're really close. I'm about done with my part here. Once the seat's in it and we've test driven it, all I've got to worry about then is stuff like the air cleaners and at some point the horn mounts and any problems that arise after we test drive it. And then he's doing the whole interior himself. All right, got a bunch of the little stuff put together. Went ahead and got the mirrors on. Actually, they're not actually clamp on like I thought when I looked at the catalog. They actually replaced 2 of the bolts or screws that go into the grab handle there. They give you longer screws to put in there and new nuts and everything. So it's actually a pretty nice setup, except once you got them bolted on, you can't use side curtains. But we're going to take this thing for a quick test drive and just make sure everything looks okay and feels okay. I still gotta do a final trimming on this to get everything sitting nice and smooth and like it needs to be here, but we're gonna do that later. All right, so he's just taking a few laps around the shed here, make sure everything feels good, and then he's gonna take it down the road and letting him do it because it's his car. All right, well, first drive was successful. Temperature stayed right where we want it. Oil pressure's right where we want it. Brakes felt fine, drove good. Everything seems to be okay. Now it's down to just some of the little minor details to button it up.